Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and it's time for more spoilers from Ultimate Masters. Now I'm gonna meta-spoil the spoilers by spoiling it for you by telling you every good card is in this set. It would probably be shorter to tell you what money reprint that hasn't been printed in forever isn't in this set, because that's a shorter list. Oh, and other spoiler alert, anybody who sold this for like $255 on a pre-order is a complete idiot. So anyway, first up, we've got Angel of Despair. Pretty damn rough to play in a draft, but it's a 5/5 flyer, and when it enters the battlefield, destroy target permanent, so I feel like 7's a little high. I mean, people can barely play Chupacabra right now, and that's a 4-cost kill spell. But, you know, sealed games are slower, and I don't know, if you're playing these two colors, hey. Unfortunately, not really a money card either. It's 79 cents, but still, it's neat. Next up, Apprentice Necromancer. I'm convinced that this was originally called URZA's Masters, and they just changed the name at the last second. This was only printed in URZA's Destiny and then Commander 2017, and that's it. Now, I'm sure the Commander one drove it down because it is currently 49 cents, but it's a good card. I mean, it's a 1/1 for 2, and you pay 1, sacrifice the card, and return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's pretty nuts. That creature gains haste, and then at the beginning of the next end step, sack it. So you do lose this. You can only do it once, but it's still way cheaper, way quicker than, I don't know, Whip of Erebos, I guess we'll say, and Rise from the Grave. But Whip grants lifelink, and Rise from the Grave is permanent. So yeah, I mean, it scales down, but it's still a crazy good card. I mean, you only need to swing once if it has Annihilator. Next up, a card that's $12 for some reason. I'm sure this goes in something obscure, but boy does it look like flaming garbage to me. It's a 3-cost enchantment, triple black, and it does absolutely nothing if it's in play, because whenever a non-token creature is put into your graveyard, if Bridge from Below is in your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Whenever a creature is put into an opponent's graveyard from the battlefield, if Bridge from Below is in your graveyard, exile Bridge from Below. So you have to self-mill this or discard it, then get something killed without killing anything on your opponent's battlefield. I'd ask how this is possibly a $12 card, but I'm sure it goes in some real obscure specific deck. Next up, classic card and pretty big money uncommon. It's $4. It's been printed a couple times, but it has been a World Championship card, a promotional one. From the Vault 20 it was in, and besides that, it was only ever printed in Torment. So $4 for an uncommon, that ain't bad. I mean, you get 3 of them in a pack, so I mean, just saying. So you pay 2 sorcery, target player sacks a creature, and then flashback 7. I mean, that just speaks for itself. It's just damn good. Gets around hexproof, indestructible, all kinds of stuff. I love it. Next up, something that Wizards is really good at, Circular Logic. It was printed in Torment and then as a promotional F&M foil, and that is it. $1 though is what they're asking for it because, you know, it's an uncommon, it's kind of specific. So you pay 3, counter target spell unless its controller pays 1 for each card in your graveyard, and then Madness 1. What would you be countering at the exact time that somebody uses a spell or ability to already successfully make you discard this? I don't know. What would be on the stack if you were forced to discard this? I don't know. It's another card that just goes in a very specific deck. Next up, Containment Priest. It's a 2/2 for 2 human cleric with flash. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. This is like the 4th or 5th card that does something like this. Because this absolutely shuts down certain decks, this is a $14 card. Previously a $16 card. It was an Invocation, aka Masterpiece, from Amonkhet, but otherwise it was only ever in Commander 2014. People were not kicking this out of their deck, so very much needed reprint. I mean, Human Synergy, making it a creature and giving it flash, damn, this thing's good. Not even double white. Next up, ooh, I love this spell. I remember this from MM2, Daybreak Coronet. It was worth a bit back then, and it still is now, floating in around $4. So, you know, not the best rare, but it's still better than like a $1 rare or 25-cent rare. So double white, enchant creature with another aura attached to it. That's the rough part. You are putting all of your eggs in one basket, but enchanted creature has +3/+3 and first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. Ooh! That makes it the lightning rod to end all lightning rods, but if you have a way to save it or something, more power to you. You will absolutely run them over with one creature. I've seen people do it. Next up, a $2 uncommon. So, I mean, you know, if you're looking at rares that cost like $7, you're like, $7. Look in the uncommon slot. You never know what'll be there. It looks pretty damn good so far. So, Desperate Ritual. I hate everything about this card. If you think that it's just my opinion, let me just remind you. Rite of Flame and Seething Song are both banned in Modern, and there's a damn good reason they're banned in Modern. This, for some reason, is still legal in Modern. Now, it only nets you a +1. I think that's why, but in my opinion, every single card like this should be banned. It's too much mana, too early to do some stupid, degenerate, all-in, one-time glass cannon combo, and if it fails, the deck does nothing. Binary win condition, absolutely idiotic, uncreative, stupid, repetitive, and pointless. So have some self-respect and don't put this card in anything. Next up, Devoted Druid. Oh, look, another $2 uncommon. This is a 2-cost 0/2 elf druid. You can tap it to add 1 green, and you can put a -1/-1 counter on Devoted Druid to untap it. Ooh, 2 in a row that gives you degenerate amounts of mana way the hell too early. At least it doesn't have haste. Next up, you know it, you love it. It's banned in Modern, banned in Legacy, restricted in Vintage, and legal in Commander because literally anything goes in Commander, apparently. Dig through time. I hate this card, you hate this card, everybody hates this card. So it's an instant speed, 8 cost. Look at the top 7 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. As I like to call it, win the game. You could delve it down to 2, which is absolutely disgusting. This was banned in basically every format for a damn good reason. It was a mistake. I hate this card. Let's move on. Oh, and it's 99 cents, so I think it's the cheapest rare that has been spoiled so far. I'd like to issue a special thank you to Wizards for including this wonderful card in your Ultimate Masters experience. Next up, Dimir Guildmage. It's a common. I'm not even going to look it up. I'm sure it's 25 cents. It was printed in Ravnica. 2/2 for 2 with hybrid. I like that. It's pretty cool. Human wizard. That's nice. And then you can pay 3. Target player draws a card. Activate this only at sorcerer speed. And then pay 4 with black mixed in. And target player discards a card. So recurring discard is no joke. I mean, it costs a buttload of mana. You can't really do anything else. But that's what makes it pretty balanced. This is a very, very good card. A lot of people played this back in the day. This was an MM2. It's pretty damn powerful for draft. It's a very good inclusion. It's not a money inclusion, it's just a good card. Next up, Disrupting Shoal. It's only $2.99. That's a shame, considering it was only printed once in Betrayers of Kamigawa as a rare, but I guess not many people play it because it's double blue X, and then you may exile a blue card with converted mana cost X from your hand, rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Counter target spell, if its converted mana cost is exactly X. Wow, well, the probability of that working literally ever is basically 0. What a garbage card. Don't draft this. Next up, Fauna Shaman. This is a $6 card, formerly a $10 card because it was only ever in M11. It's a 2/2 Elf Shaman for 2. You can pay 1, discard a creature card, search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. No restrictions on mana cost on either end. That is crazy. Even if this only said elf, that would be nuts, but it's just any creature card, any creature card. You don't get to cast it for free, but if you don't like what you drew and you need something more synergistic or whatever, wonderful. And an elf tribal, oh my gosh. Next up, Fiery Temper. Oh, everybody hated this piece of crap when it was in Shadows, and they made it a F&M promo, of course. It deals 3 damage to any target for 3, which, you know, is kind of bad, but Madness won, and everybody played it if they had Madness. I think they would play this with, like, Tormenting Voice so that they could control when they discard it, but yeah, 3 damage for 1, I mean, that's Lightning Bolt. It's nothing too amazing, but it's pretty good. I'm wondering how you could get Madness to work in draft, though. We must be missing something that would enable this. Next up, Firewing Phoenix. It's just a 25-cent uncommon, but that's cool. They don't all have to be winners. It's a flying 4/2 for 4, and if you pay 4, you can return it from your graveyard to your hand, not the battlefield. Then you got to pay 4 again to cast it. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to kill, but we have better Phoenixes than this in Standard right now. I could see this being highly annoying in a sealed environment, though, so, you know, don't count it out just yet. Next up, Flagstones of Trocare. It's a legendary land in the rare slot, currently coming in at $8. Used to be $13 from Time Spiral, which was printed quite a while ago, so yeah, we needed a reprint. You can add 1 white, and it doesn't come in tap, so it's already an option for just about anything. And when it is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may search your library for a Plains card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. Who in their right mind would purposely destroy this? I have no idea. Why do you need this much of an insurance policy? I don't know. Why would anyone in their right mind run more than one of these? I mean, I guess, okay, legendary rule, it's immediately destroyed. You would go get a Plains, and then you'd thin your deck without running Evolving Wilds? I guess? But then again, the Plains comes in tapped. I don't know. I have no idea what the point of this is. Once again, I'm sure it's in a deck I've never heard of. I don't go way back with this stuff. Whatever. You want to buy it? More power to you. Oh, I bet you keep bringing it back with Crucible. That's probably what it is. But wait, you would need to keep destroying it, though. You know what? The card's garbage. Next up, a card that is impossible to search for on Card Kingdom, Foil. You know people are going to want to buy this in foil just for the meme. Hell, I'm probably going to buy it. So this is a 79-cent common. That's cool. It costs 4 instant speed. You may discard an island card and another card rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Okay, counter target spell. Wow, so a 0 cost counter spell. Well, damn, that's pretty good. I mean, you're giving up a lot, but if you really want that spell countered, hey, at least it doesn't say basic island. Next up, Heliod's Pilgrim. This is from a fairly recent set, so it ain't worth crap, but it's 1/2 for 3. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an aura card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. This is the original block cow, if you've been watching my channel long enough. It's a one-and-done block cow. All it does is do what it does, and then you block with it as soon as humanly possible. Just get it off the battlefield, because it is a pointless cow in the road, blocking traffic. Next up, one of my top 10 favorite cards in all of Magic, Hero of Lena Tower. This thing is disgusting. This is a 1/1 for 1, not legendary, I don't know why, and it has Heroic X. I mean, technically not, but it pretty much does. So whenever you cast a spell that targets it, you may pay X. If you do, put X/1/1 counters on Hero of Lena Tower. So just dump mana into it, and this thing's a superhero. This is better than Scoot Mob, which people also don't appreciate properly. I used to play, I want to say Aspect of the Hydra, I think it was, where it says double the number of counters on target creature, and the heroic trigger would go on the stack above it, resolve first, so you'd pay like 5, and then double it. And with Hardened Scales, you would pay 5, get 6, then play 6, which means you would play 7, which means you would get 13. I have killed people on turn 5 with this. It's only 25 cents, but this card's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Next up, oh good, the Umbras are back, because I love them so much, and they're such fair cards that everybody loves. Well, this is about $1.50, but it says enchant creature for 1, by the way. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has first strike, totem armor. I don't like totem armor. If enchanted creature would be destroyed, instead remove all damage from it and destroy this aura. You shrink it back down. These Umbras are roughly equivalent to, like, I guess, Bestow. But it's just so annoying, and the Umbra cards get worse from here, and I'm pretty sure the rest of them are in this damn set. Next up, a $6 formerly uncommon from Innistrad, currently selling at 3, but hey, uncommon, damn. We got Laboratory Maniac. It's a human wizard 2/2. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. Oh good, more degenerate glass cannon garbage that nobody in their right mind would play in a draft. I hate gimmicky alternate win condition garbage like this. It's just the worst. You should see what people pair this card with. It's disgusting. Next up, oh my gosh, they finally reprinted it and it's still a $4 uncommon. I mean, I thought they would just put in uncommons because they're fun for draft and kind of balance it out, put all the money in the rare slot. They put money all the way down to the damn uncommon slot. Do you hear that noise? It's kind of distant, but I can hear it faintly. It's the sound of the prices of these boxes going up. The pre-order prices just going through the roof on eBay. So Lava Spike was from Champions of Kamigawa and the first Modern Masters, and that's it. But it's 3 damage to target player or planeswalker for 1, making it, basically a crappy, sorcery speed lightning bolt, but still, 3 damage in burn. If you're going to hit the player or a planeswalker with it, that is your intent. That's how your deck works. This is another lightning bolt. If you're not going to hit a creature, who cares about it being sorcery speed? So that was definitely in need of a reprint. That'll help some people out. Unlike this card, Living Lore, which was printed in Dragons of Tarkir. I actually thought it was in one of the Masters sets. I guess it wasn't. But yeah, 25 cents. Wonderful. At least it's not a rare. I mean, that artwork is crazy, but anyway, 4 cost, as it enters the battlefield, exile an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Its power and toughness are equal to the exiled card's converted mana cost. So clever, but how did you get something huge in the graveyard anyway? So gimmicky combo. And then whenever it deals combat damage, you may sacrifice it. Okay. If you do, you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Okay. I mean, if you put like a 10 cost spell or something crazy like that into your graveyard, this is huge. And then if it deals combat damage, you also get to cast it. So like, it's a long shot. It costs 4, but like you had to have time to stack your graveyard anyway. Maybe cast Traumatize on yourself. I don't know. There are ways to make this good, but apparently nobody found a deck to put it in because it's 25 cents. Star of Extinction though? I mean, come on, that would be fun. Next up, Magma, which is a 4/4 for 5. It's elemental, and if you pay 1, you can sacrifice any non-land permanent, and it deals 1 damage to any target. So it kind of has the same effect as Walking Ballista, where at any point you could take X amount of damage. An X bare minimum is the number of mountains that the person has. Tap a mountain, pay the cost, sack the mountain, boom, 1 damage. For 5 mana in red, though, you could do better. I mean, this thing just isn't great, and it's only 25 cents. Next up, it's Magus of the Candelabra's weird cousin, Magus of the Bazaar. I think there actually are 5 of these, but anyway, it's a 0/1 for 2, and if you tap it, you can draw 2 cards and discard 3 cards. So that's in the set because of madness. It certainly isn't in there for money because even the Planar Chaos version is $1. There are faster, better ways to mill yourself out. If they gave this haste, okay, cool, but no. Next up, a card from Gatecrash. Didn't really need this to be printed. It was only 25 cents, but hey, it's Miming Slime, or as everybody calls it, Miming Sliming. So it's a sorcery, it costs 3, and create an XX green ooze creature token where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So it's kind of like quasi-duplicate, except you don't get any of the abilities. So kind of nice. Also no jumpstart, by the way. It's a really good way to double down on some kind of green creature, run them over kind of deck. By the way, this was downshifted from uncommon to common. I feel like this is going to be a very hot card in Pauper. Next up, Pattern of Rebirth. This is only, unfortunately, a $2 rare. Oh, we had to slip up at a certain point, but what are we at? 90% money rares, so whatever. This is in URZA's Destiny, just like most of the rest of the set, so I guess we needed this. I mean, it was only a $4 card, so need might be a little strong, but it's a 4-cost aura enchant creature, and when it dies, that creature's controller may search your library for a creature card, put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle their library. Wow, more people should play this. You run just 1 Emrakul just in case, and you win the game. I bet this would be a $30 card if it costs 3 instead of 4. Next up, an old Morningtide card, 5-cost Reveillark, maybe? Something like that? I don't know, I'm not convinced that's even a real word. It was only $1.80 from that set, so, not exactly a money reprint, but whatever. There's not that many floating around. It was in MM1, but whatever. So, when it leaves the battlefield, which is a 4/3 flyer for 5, by the way, which isn't bad, return up to 2 target creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, and then it has Evoke 6, where, if you cast this spell for its Evoke cost, it's immediately sacrificed the second it hits the battlefield. You just kind of treat it like a spell. So, evoking for more than its actual cost, I don't love it, but if you really need that effect to go off, okay, but I mean, I'd almost rather have a 4/3 flyer in almost any case, but you never know, might get some good ETBs. I mean, it's an interesting card. Really weird looking too, by the way. Next up, it's Rhea. 9's a little much even for draft, and yeah, it's basically, let's see, what's the lowest one? We got Conspiracy, Invasion, even that's $1.50. Looks like they're looking for $1, even though Dual Deck Anthology is 79 cents, and so is Conspiracy. This thing was in everything. I don't know what their problem is with reprinting the hell out of this, but another wasted rare slot. So it's a flying 4/6, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So cool, but I mean, if they're running a removal deck to the point where you're getting that shredded, they're going to kill this too. I mean, for 9 mana, give it hexproof or like 10 toughness or something. I mean, this card just sucks. Next up, Carpe Diem. We're seizing the day. Card Kingdom doesn't have a pre-order price on this. Must be a really new spoiler, but the Odyssey version is $6, so I expect this to maybe be 3 to 4. Kind of crap for a rare, but not a complete loss, like that stupid angel. You pay 4, untap 3, or oh my god, I can't even read today. Untap target creature. After this main phase, there is an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. Flashback 3. So if you're confident in your line of creatures and you think you can win, play it. There are alternatives to this, some of which I think are even creatures, but I'm not sure any of them cost 4, and I'm too lazy to check, so this is probably an okay card. Next up, the worst thing to happen to mankind since World War II, Slippery Bogle, or Boggle. I don't care how you pronounce it, shut up and stop playing this damn deck. For some reason, the Eventide version is $1.49. I have no explanation for that. Oh wait, it was a common. Okay, I guess I do have an explanation for that. But this one has been upshifted to uncommon. Okay, it's a 1/1 hexproof hybrid 1 cost. What more is there to say? I hate this thing, and I hope anybody who puts it in their deck dies a horrible death. I don't know if you saw Wizard's announcement the other day, but if you put an Umbra card on that, you automatically are banned for life from playing Magic. So next up, we got Slum Reaper. It's a 4/2 for 4, and clearly he's coming to collect rent. When it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature. That includes you, dumbass. Good job. You played yourself. I think there's like a better 3-cost version of this in Standard right now, so It's neat. It's a roundabout kill spell. You can get rid of something dumb while they get rid of something better, but the probability of that being set up in the battlefield, pretty damn low. Next up, ooh, that's pretty. Sovereigns of Lost Alara. Unfortunately, it's $1.50 rare. Boy, we're slipping. It's like they put in all the money in alphabetical order, and like everything past halfway through the alphabet is garbage. This is really weird. So anyway, it's a 6 cost, which is why it's not that great, but it has Exalted, so whenever a creature attacks alone, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Whoopity flippin' do. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, you may search your library for an aura card that could enchant that creature, put it onto the battlefield, attach to that creature, then shuffle your library. Okay, that's crazy. I mean, there is some stuff you could put this in if it didn't cost 6. I mean, even if it costs like 4 and this was like a 0/1, like this would be a hot card, but this is pretty damn up there cost-wise. That's a shame. Next up, oh, it's ya boy, Spider Umbra. Now, this was a common in Rise of the Eldrazi and an Archenemy if you went to buy that, which that version's actually $1.79, but this is currently sitting at 25 cents. Enchant creature, it gets +1/+1 in reach, and if you try to kill it, you gotta kill it again. I hate these cards so much. Next up, Spoils of the Vault, and in keeping with the end of the alphabet rares, this is a garbage 79-cent rare. It's a 1-cost instant. Choose a card name, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a card with that name, then put that card into your hand. Exile all other cards revealed this way, and you lose 1 life for each of the exiled cards. Wow, even if you're playing 4 of, you could cast this on turn 1 and lose the game. So if that's what you're going for, this is the way to do it. Also, maybe get some professional help. I guess if you know that like a certain card is specifically like 3 cards down in your library, this is a really cheap fetch, but boy, you'd almost have to pair this with some kind of like Lich card, or like every time you lose life, you gain it. If that's a thing, I don't know. There's got to be something this goes with, because this is just absolute trash. I should just rename this video, Des tries to figure out what decks these obscure crap cards go in. Yeah, feel free to go scream and complain down in the comment section. Don't you know it's from this deck? It's not a bad card at all. First of all, it's a bad card. Shut up. Every one of these obscure cards are a bad card. Just because somebody found some stupid deck to put it in doesn't mean it's not a garbage card. It is. Secondly, shut the hell up. I don't have every deck in the history of Magic in every format memorized. I'm just going to delete your comment. So anyway, next up we got Sublime Archangel. This is from M13 only. It was a mythic. It is downshifted in rarity to rare. Only a $6 mythic in the first place. It's $3 from UMA, but it's a 4/3 flyer for 4, so already pretty damn good. Exalted, hell yeah, and other creatures you control have Exalted. Now, if you read that last part and you're like, what the actual hell would be the point of that? They put it in reminder text. I actually find that really funny. So, if a creature has multiple instances of Exalted, each triggers separately. Now, also, if you have 5 cards out that all have Exalted, but only 1 copy of Exalted each, then 1 creature swinging alone would get a +5 because they get the benefit from all the Exalted keywords, I guess. Maybe triggered ability would be more appropriate. So yeah, this is pretty tasty. I mean, especially if it attacks alone and it's in the air. I mean, it would just be too damn big to stop. So pretty damn cool card. And next up, we've got Short Rand's brother, Talrand, Sky Summoner. This is a 99-cent rare from M13. I don't know why they felt the need to reprint this. 4-cost 2/2 Merfolk. I hate Merfolk. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. Wonderful. Or just play Murmuring Mystic, because it's a better card than this garbage. Next up, a common from Journey into Nyx. Oh, pardon me, it was an uncommon, it's a common now. Oh boy. Tethmos, High Priest, 2/3 for 3. Heroic, whenever you cast a spell that targets him, return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. A lot of people actually played this at the time. This is a pretty hot card. You get some Tribal Flood going, and you could play around control pretty good with this. And if this was legal right now with all the Leonins and stuff, damn. Next up, another garbage reprint from Gatecrash. It was a rare, it was $2, it's $1 now. Oh boy, it's a land you paid, or not, you don't pay, I don't know what this thing does. You tap it, I guess, because it's a land and it generates a colorless. Fantastic, and then it, I don't know, puts on a play for you. Cool. Or you can pay 2, tap it, and it becomes a copy of target land, except it has this ability. Lovely. I don't know, make another Nykthos? No, I wouldn't do that. It's legendary. I don't know what this does. Oh wait, I know what it does. It disappoints you when you open it in a pack. Next up, travel preparations. This is from Innistrad. It was upshifted in rarity to uncommon from common. And it's a 2-cost sorcery. Put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures, then flashback with white mixed in for the cost. It'd be cool with hardened scales, but still 25 cents, whatever. Next up, Woodall Primus, all the way from Shadowmoor and MM1. It is currently sitting at $4, so wow, disappointing rares at the end of the alphabet. This is quite the anomaly if you think about it. Like, they just alphabetize the money. This is just so strange. Anyway, it's an 8-cost 6/6 with trample. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target non-creature permanent. And then it has persist. Oh, watch out. Persist and Undying are like the craziest abilities because you're going to have to kill it at least twice, if not more. You kill it once, it comes back as a 5/5, and surprise, you get the ETB effect again, just like my Black Modern deck. I mean, good luck getting 8 mana, but if you do, this thing's pretty damn good. I mean, I'd prefer just a giant thing with hexproof, that's just simpler to me, but whatever, this is cool too. Oh, that was the last one. So a lot of craptastic rares added in there, but we also got a lot of tasty rares. You know, a lot of like $12 stuff in this set so far, or I should say in this spoiler video. In this set, God, there's like $40 rares. So it's a shame they had to shoe in such disappointment in the rare slot, but I mean, if every single pack was guaranteed bare minimum to have like a $10 rare in it, and then also foil, also money, uncommons, and also mythics, that would be, I mean, awesome, let's be honest, but I think it would sell pretty well, like a little bit too well. Like it would kind of devalue the cards pretty quickly right across the board. So with everything we named today, damn, there's going to be some crazy draft stuff going on. I mean, these are going to be some nuts games. There's some pretty good control, some kind of roundabout stuff, which is the way it should be. It shouldn't just be, 10 black kill spells because everybody would just draft black. But I think this is going to be just race to the bomb, where you try and get the biggest, baddest thing out quickest, and if you do, good for you. And people are going to be overloading their mana just to get to these, 6 and up cost stuff. Or not drafting in the first place and just going all flyers, like, because, there's always one guy that does that. So it should be interesting. This has got to be the vast majority of the spoilers. A lot of what we haven't seen are commons, so whatever. But hey, more spoilers to come, so I'll see you guys next video.